every troll down in Trollville liked Christmas a lot. But the Bergen, who lived just south of Trollville, did not. The Bergen hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. No one knew why. No one quite knew the reason. It could be that her hair wasn't styled just right. Or it could be that her pants were just too tight. But it could be theorized that the most logical reason of all may have been that her heart was much, much too small. Whatever the reason, her heart or her clothes, she stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the trolls, staring down from her kitchen with a sour burgundy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For she knew every troll down in Trollville beneath was busy now hanging a holiday wreath.
"They're hanging their troll stockings,"
she said with a sneer.
"Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here."
Then she growled with her Bergen fingers nervously drumming.
"I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming."
For tomorrow she knew all the troll girls and boys. They would wake up bright and early and rush for their toys, and then, oh, the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing she hated. All the
noise, 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 noise.
Then the trolls, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast. And they'd feast. And they'd feast. 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 They would feast on troll pudding and rare troll roast beast, which is something the Bergen chef doesn't like in the least.
Roast beast is gross.
Then all the trolls down in Trollville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the trolls would start singing. And they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. The more the Bergen thought of this whole Christmas sing, the more she thought to herself,
"I must stop this whole thing! Why, for 3 to 4 years I've put up with it now! I must stop Christmas from coming! But how?"
Then she got an idea, an awful idea. The Bergen got a wonderful, awful idea.
"I know what to do!"
The Bergen laughed in her throat, and she made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And she chuckled and clucked,
"What a great burgundy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick! All I need is a reindeer!"
The Bergen looked around, but since reindeer were scarce, there were none to be found. But that didn't stop the old Bergen, no. The Bergen simply said,
"If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead."
So she called her dog Max, and he looked at her with dread.
"You will be my reindeer, even though you don't have a horn on top of your head."
So she loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackled golf cart and hooked up old Max. Then the Bergen said,
"Giddy up!"
and the golf cart started down towards the homes where the trolls lay asleep in their town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the trolls were all dreaming sweet dreams without care when she came to the first little house on the square.
"This is stop number 1!"
The old burgundy Claus hissed, and she climbed to the roof, empty bags in her fist. Then she slid down the chimney. A rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Bergen. She got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then she stuck her head out of the fireplace flue, where all the troll toy surprises sat in a row.
"These toy surprises,"
she said,
"are the first things to go.
and she slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and she took every present. Then she stuffed all the presents up the chimney with glee.
Now,
Said the Bergen.
I will stuff up the tree.
And the Bergen grabbed the tree and she started to shove when she heard a small coo, like the coo of a dove. Turned around fast, and he saw a small troll baby, little Cindy Lou Troll, who is not more than 2 maybe. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny troll daughter who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Bergen and said,
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
But you know that old Bergen was so smart and so slick. She thought up a lie and she thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little tot?
The fake Santa Claus lied.
There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it there and I'll bring it back here.
Her fib fooled the child. Then she patted her head and she got her a drink and she sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, she went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing she took was the log for their fire. Then she went up the chimney herself, the old liar. On their walls she left nothing but hooks and some wire. The one speck of food she left in the house was a gumball that was even too small for a mouse. Then she did the same thing to the other trolls' houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other trolls' mouses. It was 2:15, all the trolls still abed, all the trolls still asleep when she packed up her sled. She packed up all their presents, the shopkins, the wrappings, the tags, the tinsel, the mash'ems, the trappings. 3,000 feet up on the side of Mount Crumpet, she rode with her load to the tip-top to dump it.
Pooh-pooh to the trolls.
She was grinchishly humming.
They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the trolls down in Trollville will all cry boo-hoo. That's a noise
Grinned the Bergen.
that I simply must hear.
So she paused, and the Bergen put her hand to her ear. And she did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry, very. She stared down at Trollville. The Bergen popped her eyes. Then she shook. What she saw was a shocking surprise. Every troll down in Trollville, the tall and the small, were singing without any presents at all. She hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other. It came just the same. And the Bergen, with her Bergen feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without mash'ems, shopkins, or bags.
And she puzzled for 3 hours, till her puzzler was sore. Then the Bergen thought something she hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas,
She thought,
doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
and what happened then? Well, in Trollville they say that the Bergen's tiny heart grew exponentially that day. And the minute her heart didn't feel quite so tight, she whizzed all her presents through the bright morning light. And she brought back all the toys and the food for the feast. And she herself, the Bergen, carved the roast beast.